If you're gonna be an entrepreneur, I'd advise you to find a really good co-founder. There's almost nothing more important than that.
Yeah, I was actually talking to a founder yesterday and he said, I might bring a co-founder on board.
So anyone out there that's listening that is a single founder entrepreneur, my hat is off to you.
Until I found a technical co-founder, it was a nightmare.
But you need to have that moment, I think, with someone, that instant click.
For me, it has been the most valuable thing ever to have someone in the trenches with me. And in the trenches with you is different than like a supportive partner or friends or family, whatever. I'm talking about somebody who is like in the thick of things with you, has as much on the line as you, has that pain in their stomach when things aren't going right. That person.
My co-founder is my life partner. And everyone is, and investors will even say, I would never do this with my partner. But we feel quite the opposite about this because it's such a particular experience that you're having as a founder, like the ups and downs, like throughout the day, throughout your week, and the fact that there's never enough time because you're trying to get things going as quickly as possible. You need that support system. And for us to be a long-term relationship of like 11 years, we actually started the business together. So it's a crazy thing that I'm not saying I recommend, but for us, it was very natural for us to get into it. Not that we were like jumping into it, like, oh, let's do a business together, but it's just, over time, we just knew that we were good, complementary partners to each other.
You need to be very, very confident of the people that you start with. I think that's the most important thing. Choose wisely who you go in business with, right? Starting a company is like a marriage. But the difference is that there's a lot more money at stake, typically.
We were students when we started the company, we were teachers, we're also like brothers and like best friends. So like he's known me for his entire life. I've known him for my entire life, minus the first 2 years. We just are just really open to each other and just super honest and just, keep it real.
Yeah, it does help a lot with communication just to be like, hey, you haven't done this, pick up the slack.
Yeah. And, he'll call me out on that sort of stuff and
vice versa.
Vice versa too. Except he never drops a slack. I'll be honest.
Nah, that's not true.
That sort of relationship that Siddharth and I have, I think is really carried over to like the rest of the executive team.
Yeah, just having a co-founder does help a lot. Like to be able to just talk things through and bounce ideas off each other and have those kind of highs and lows together.
Getting the right co-founder is so important and takes so much time, and having not a good team as founders can kill the company.
Because you're gonna work with them a lot, and it's similar to like a marriage or a PhD advisor. It's a long-term, serious, in-depth relationship, so you better like them. So that's my advice.
Kind of the first step of finding a co-founder is whether you get along really well.
And then probably the favorite part of my day is when I get to talk to my co-founder, Annalise, and we get to talk about all the things we've learned during the day and how that's going to change the company going forward, how we're going to change strategy and all that. That's a lot of fun. She's a lot of fun to work with.
I actually spent 4 months trying to find a co-founder, but I could not find someone, that I wanted to work with, So it's really important to have a good co-founder. And if you cannot find someone, it's better not to have one than to have someone you cannot really work with, because once you split the equity, it might affect the company in a big way.
Right now, we're a team so there's 6 co-founders, and we don't really have a very strict hierarchy in the company. We like to kind of do things by consensus or depending on what department each person's working in. We work together very well, and it can be chaotic at times. There's as much conflict as there is us agreeing with each other, but being able to go through that process, what I always say is it's very good that we're able to fight, and argue about things and then come to a resolution very quickly and not let it linger.
It's a whole new world in itself. So my advice for anybody starting now, and what I would do differently, is I would find that person earlier. You can't do everything. You can't learn everything. It's just too much.
I think on the entrepreneurial journey, if you've got a great co-founder, it makes all the difference in the world. So I'm really grateful, and I love talking to her every day.